Hi guys, I'm Lightmaster Steve and welcome to the Debrief for Starlight by Tonight Alive on the Cornerstone.Lighting Show. Please forgive me if I'm a little bit dull or clunky today. It's been an unseasonably busy week and it's very early in the morning on the Monday of this video's release after a long night. Tonight Alive was first shown to me by a mate of mine in Sydney and I appreciated the more punk rock feel they had over comparable bands. They're an Australian band who unfortunately haven't made a big impact here in Australia, but are quite popular in the US, so check them out when you get a chance. In total, I spent 40 minutes on the song. Although very straightforward programming, I had issues with timing that I attempted to fix, which I'll get into a little bit later. I made an interesting choice with the colours, using something a little brighter as it's a more upbeat song, although I hate the term upbeat. The colouring seemed to fit, however, and in a song like this, it's the dimmers and strobes that make the biggest impact. The bridge colours were a bit odd though. I wanted to make them feel more like a night sky, using yellow and blue, but for some reason I added the magenta. I did program this a few weeks ago now, and I wouldn't do that in hindsight. In keeping with the Starlight feel, I didn't use all the sunstrip globes in every effect. It's not a particularly obvious thing, and it's too structured to be Starlight, but it's a small thing that does make a big difference in the bridge at least. That being said, I wasn't happy with how I used the sunstrips in this song. I would change it to be only for emphasis and stabs if I was to do it again, and you would have noticed that stabs appear very rarely in this song. In the second verse, I used 4 washes to do a small dimmer effect, which worked until you reach the end of it. It was the right thing for the wrong amount of time, which is something I've never encountered before. Musically, this verse needed something more, but I would consider something else next time. Or maybe I'm just looking into it too much. The 3-part chorus lighting didn't work out like I'd expected. It needs a little bit of fine-tuning. The strobes were probably unnecessary, but interestingly you don't notice them because the sun strips appear out of time when they come in. If you listen to the drum beat, they are in time, but the guitars playing triplets throw off the feel. Interestingly, when I trialled the effect following the guitars, it didn't work. Musically it works perfectly, but trying to visualise one part over the other just makes it feel wrong. I also had an issue that I decided to leave in during the bridge, where part of the sunstrip effect went off time. I have no idea how, I didn't change anything in the effect, and this actually happens to me in real life sometimes, and I've spent a lot of time attempting to figure it out in the past. If you know why this sometimes occurs, please let me know. I did like the wash chase that I used throughout the song, and the snare hits in the pre-chorus. The pre-chorus was my favourite part of the song, and I'm pleased that my idea worked so well for it. Overall, the song just works, despite the errors and mistakes I've mentioned to you in this video. The main reason for this is the dimming effects and strobes, which is standard rock lighting. Even with the colours being a little bit out and the sun strips being wrong, the movement and dimmer effects work to hold it together. I hadn't mentioned movement until now, and again I want to stress that it was dimming and strobe that were most important parts. Pan and tilt effects were only used when needed. Thanks for watching guys. I hope I managed to keep it together enough for you today. Don't forget to like the video and comment to show your support, and please share the lighting video on social media. I'll see you next time.